It is Monday, June the 1st. My name is Joel Pearl, at Joel Pearl, thejoelpearl.com on Blue Sky. And it's time to get in the weeds. A marvelous Monday, main channel Monday takeover. It's marvelous and it's everything you need to be. Jeremy Lambert is here, as he always is. My friend, happy Pride Month to you and to all. And we hope that we start off with a blast. How you doing, buddy?
Joel, happy stupid birthday.
My birthday is, in fact, very stupid.
Happy stupid birthday, Joel. I hope you're well as you've turned 82 today.
What is this picture that was just posted by Kimmy?
I have no idea.
Look at this thing.
I don't want to.
Too bad. Here it is.
Is she get you mid-drink there?
I think I was doing something.
Clearly drinking.
Well, she's being silly in this thing.
She's clearly just taking a photo of you.
Yeah, but she's got her tongue out over there, so I have no idea what's going on here. Anyway.
That looks incriminating in some ways.
Is it because we're both in an elevator?
You are happily married. I'm not casting any assertions on this.
Thank you. I am happily married. Thank you.
It just looks incriminating one way or another.
Anyway, we're here. It's main channel and nothing is serious. Everything is stupid and so are you. Yes, you, everybody. If you got a problem with it, well, it's my birthday, so he just can't get upset at me now. We had a busy weekend. We had Clash in Turin, Clash in Italy. I did the post show with Cresta Star yesterday. It was a lot of fun. And we had Collision, of course, on Saturday. We had Noche de la Grande for over on AAA, which is a fantastic mask versus mask match. The El Grandes really tore it up, and we'll talk about that. And, of course, all the other stuff that's coming up. Maybe we'll talk a little bit about tonight or this afternoon's Raw, because that's happening soon. And plenty more on the docket. But, yeah, Jeremy, how was your weekend?
Sucked, Joel. Absolutely sucked. Let me go ahead and address this. Congratulations to the San Antonio Spurs. They were the better team. We unfortunately had to deal with some injuries. Maybe the series would have been different if we didn't have injuries. Maybe that's just me coping. Don't know. But, is what it is. Izzy Dame, we lost. I didn't take it too hard. My wife will actually confirm this. I was pretty good on Saturday. I was actually... It happened. We lost. I won a lot of money. I will say that. That eased the pain a little bit.
Yeah, that would be good.
Yeah. So I did win a lot of money on that. Again, had we not had Dub and AJ hurt, could have been a different series. But the NBA rigged it, obviously, because they want the NBA Cup to matter. And so they were like, let's have an NBA Cup rematch in the finals. So it was obviously a rigged game from the start. They want to make Wemby the face of the league. So congrats to them. They were able to successfully rig the series. I don't know what anybody's going to do about the Spurs. Wemby's only going to get better. That team's probably going to win the next 10 championships. And all I can really do is accept that, because there's not a whole lot you can do about that guy. And I hope everybody in the league just accepts that and worships at the altar of Wemby, since he's going to win every single championship for the next 10 years. And we can all just hope that something, I don't want to say bad happens to him, because that's not true. If something egregious happens to the rest of the league to where they don't win the next 20 championships. So, is what it is. Izzy Dame, we lost. I'm sure SP3 and I will talk a bit about it. It's more tomorrow. I'm probably not going to watch the finals. I'll be honest with everybody. Probably not going to watch the NHL Stanley Cup Finals either. I don't know. Watching my teams get that close, not making it, I don't really care to watch the teams that beat them in the finals, and then I have to hear about how great the teams are. I'm like, oh, they beat the Avs and they beat the Thunder. Like, all right, cool. So good luck to all four teams in the Stanley Cup Finals and the NBA Finals. I will not be watching.
There will be other times and there will be other years. Wemby's very tall. That is my only comment.
I hate the there's always next year and stuff. Man, Money Mark, I would kill if we traded Chet for Giannis. It's not going to happen. I've accepted that it's not going to happen. That man was scared in that game. I don't like saying that because these are millionaire basketball players and they play the game at the highest level and everything. He looked deathly afraid of the moment, which is insane to me because he's played in Game 7 of the NBA Finals. He played well in Game 7 of the Finals. But, yeah, he looked very afraid of the moment, and I at least know Giannis isn't backing down from that. But we're going to have Chet next year. We're going to have largely the same team next year. Maybe if we're healthy, we can win next year. You know, it's a war. It's a war of attrition. It's not only two shots. It's 2 shots after the first. He scored the first basket of the game, and then he took 1 shot after that. Absolutely insane. Now, I hate that there's always next year because you don't know that there is next year. You just don't. That was the thing with Dan Marino. It was like, oh, there's always next year, right? And Dan Marino never got back. Everyone said this in 2022 when the Avs won the cup. It's like, oh, look at this team, this core. It's together. McKinnon, Landeskog, Rantanen, Makar, they're not going anywhere. They've won 0 conference finals games since 2022. Like, there's no guarantee you get back anytime. Landeskog got his knee sliced and missed 3 seasons. So there's no guarantee you get back. And there's no guarantee that OKC, gets back to the finals and wins another title. I'm glad we got one, and I'll treasure that one championship, but there's no guarantee on this stuff. So I don't like the there's always next year stuff. We're 1 win away from the finals. If we had dub, I do think we win. But again, that's probably cope of, I'm sure I know Pacers fans are like, well, if Halliburton doesn't blow his Achilles, we win that game. Like, yeah, possibly. Again, possibly we win with dub. I like to think we do. We didn't. You don't know. And so that's why I don't like there's always next year. You really don't know.
But I know.
Okay.
I mean, I mostly know that y'all should leave a thumbs up on the video. So let's just do that. All right. If you haven't already, there's some fireworks for you. Maybe that'll get you going. Oh, we got double fireworks and that. I'll even give you some balloons today. Why not? Where are my balloons?
Yeah, well, the fireworks are going.
Oh, well, now you got some balloons. And just enjoy them while you leave a thumbs up on the video and subscribe to us here on Fightful, or you can also subscribe to us on Fightful Overbook. That's normally where you'll find us Monday to Friday, 10 a.m. Eastern, talking about a billion different things. There's some wrestling, okay? I'm sorry. There's going to be some wrestling talk. But then there's also going to be some sports talk. And then there's also going to be some live talk. But there will be a little bit of everything for you and for your friends and for you to pass on to your friends as well. And while you're there, you can donate a super chat any amount, get your question or your statement read on the air, which we always appreciate. Of course, Ryan Lambert gets us started today and says, happy born day, Joel. It is, in fact, Evan born day for me. So I appreciate you. Thank you very much. And thank you to the chat for being so kind. Jeremy, where am I going to start today? He's in the middle of a conversation. So we do have by the way, we are the only NWA recap show on the internet, if you didn't know this already. And because it's now running Mondays, once a month, you're actually going to get NWA Power results, whether you like them or not. So we do have NWA results to give you, courtesy of our own Louis. He sends them to me, and I read them verbatim on the screen as they are written, and I do not read them ahead of time. I load up the first message, and then I just read them for the first time from there. So we can start with that, or we can dive right into weekend of wrestling conversation. I went to birthday parties all weekend, so like you got to cut me some slack here.
For you? Like they were your birthday parties?
No, these are kid birthday parties. My child was invited to one on Saturday and one on Sunday.
Same, actually. I mean, our kids had multiple birthday parties to attend this weekend, so that was a thing. It seemed like everybody had fun, so that's all that really matters.
Yeah, the kid had fun too. There was an indoor birthday party. My kid put a chinchilla on his head. They had animal experts come by, and they had a chinchilla.
Okay.
Put the chinchilla on his head. It's very cute. I'll show you a photo offline later. And then yesterday, I should say, was one of the community center birthdays where they run around and play sports with each other and play tag and all that. And they had a blast. So,
gotcha.
I got to watch Clash in Italy. So.
Gotcha. Yeah. Our kids had like sleepover birthdays and stuff. So it was, again, everyone seemed like they had fun. I don't know what they do at these things. As long as they come back alive, that's all that matters, at this point. They always want their friends to stay over. It's the summer. They're like, oh, can this person stay the night? And can this person stay? Like, no, we got enough of you. I don't want more of you around. Start charging these kids rent.
Thank you. I've been trying to tell you.
Oh, I joke about that with the neighbor kid comes over all the time. I'm always telling him, I'm like, I'm going to charge you rent. And they just give me this glare, like, sure you are, old man.
Like, give me your lunch money right now. Let's see what you got.
I like the neighbor kids. We had a good little neighborhood, so I like the neighbor kid around here. But I'm always giving them shit, and like, because otherwise, like, they'll think that I don't like them because they see how I am with the kids. I'm always giving the kids shit, and so like, okay, this just must be how this weirdo is. So I guess it's okay. If I just ignore them, probably means I don't like them.
Turn them inside out and just take their pockets.
Oh, I used to do that. I mean, I still do. Take the tiny one all the time. All by the ankles, like, give me all your money. Give me all your money. Ain't got no money. Broke asses over here.
Right? God, start taking kids' money. That's really the point of today. Kids' money. I'll also take your money. Volib's in the super chat saying, "Happy birthday, old human Joel." In fact, I am old. I am human. I am Joel. So thank you very much for those kind words. It's also whose birthday was it? Is it Alicia? It's Alicia Toot's birthday as well. I think I knew that. But yes, we do share a birthday. And it's also James Storms' birthday today. So if you're thinking of other people who are more important than me, there are two right off the bat. Whether or not you think James Storm is more important than me, well, that's up to you. And how much you paid attention to TNA in the 2000s.
Okay. I don't know who else is. I feel like it's somebody else's birthday, but I don't remember who else is, but sure.
There was that one day where it was like everybody in wrestling's birthday. It was kind of wild. Everyone like shared a birthday and it was like all the top stars. It was very strange. This is recent.
I'll take your word for it. I don't care about birthdays of other people.
Valid. Anyway, people are praising the MLW Fusion debut as well.
It was good.
We had a few interviews from last week. I apologize. I got them up much later than I had planned. Just shake your head and be upset at me. I get it. It was thought I had cut them, but I had not uploaded them. So they're all out now over on Overbooked. Court Bauer, Trevor Lee, and Joe Coffey. 3 really fun conversations that we had getting ready for MLW Fusion, and of course talking about literally everything when it comes to their careers. At one point, Court Bauer dropped a bombshell about a pitch that was made during his time in WWE about the return of the Doomsday Cage match. So little tidbits like that get into our conversations when you pay good attention.
Yeah, it was a good show, MLW, this past weekend. It went by pretty quickly. I think they're normally only going to be an hour. This was 2 hours because it was like the premiere. But it was a pretty quick 2 hours. They killed Cruel. They just threw him in a lake. It's never to be seen again. And that was that for him. Oh, the in ring was solid. Nothing like super spectacular. But like Trevor Lee and Austin Aries was solid. Diego Hill was good. But yeah, it was overall like a nice and easy show to watch. And I mean, an hour format once they switch to that will be super enjoyable because I don't need wrestling to be that long.
Yeah, you can get in and out in 2 hours, and you can be fine with that. I'm good with 1 hour, even better. We'll see where that goes. Mocha City Abish, our pal Micah, saying happy birthday, Joel. Thank you very much. Hope it's a great one. Mask versus Mask was incredible. Match of the year so far. It was a complete match from entrances to aftermath. So let's talk about it. AAA. It was a not just the main event. I thought it was a fun show as well. Noche de la Grande. They had 3 new champions. Or just 2?
Yeah, no, 3.
Yeah, that's right. The tag champs.
All the titles changed.
Everyone who works for the company gets a title now. That's how it works in AAA. So, yes, it was a really fun main event. We had Vikingo captured the. Oh my God, you're gonna have to remind me which one because there's a billion AAA titles.
Vikingo got the Latin American championship.
Latin American, and then Rey Fenix captured the Cruiserweight title, and we had the tag titles go to the Viking Raiders, who are now wearing masks and are really leaning into their Viking Latino heritage because the Vikings were also Latino. I like it. But either way, it was a really fun show. They had some storylines progressed, and obviously that main event between both the Americanos over-delivered in a lot of ways. They went ham. I know Jeremy hated that it was all of 30 minutes.
No, so...
Okay.
it flew by.
Fair, it did.
Like, it did not feel like it was 33 minutes. Honestly, like it just didn't. And yeah, usually I hate if it's, more than 18 minutes. This just didn't feel like it was a 33 match or a 33-minute match. Like, it really it started and then it felt like it was over like 5 minutes later, and that's a compliment to it because it just didn't feel very long. Everything beforehand was good. There was some great. I thought Phoenix and Laredo Kid was excellent. Vikingo and Wagner was short, and the run-ins, like, they made sense and everything. But Vikingo winning, I saw that coming. I mean, I thought all these titles were going to change, and they ultimately did. Like it was good. It was just kind of too short to like really do a ton with. I thought Phoenix and Laredo Kid was not only like good action wise, but it played into the story very well. To War Raiders and the Pagano and Psycho Clown, it was fine. It was more about the aftermath and Pagano walking out on Psycho Clown and the clown circus continuing to have their issues and everything. Yeah, and then the Americano stuff. I mean, the presentation was excellent. I love that Gable tried to like grab the mask from the kid in the front row, and that kid was not letting that shit go.
Just
I thought that kid was about to beat Gable's ass. He's like, you ain't taking this shit from me. But yeah, the presentation was great. The match was just aces. I can't quite call it match of the year because I just don't think anything for me is beating Tanahashi and Okada, but that's, kind of a sentimental thing as well. If I'm looking at it from a more objective perspective, it's definitely in the top 3, top 5 conversation there. But yeah, it was from start to finish. The run-ins hit, all Pimpinella coming back, like all the cameos and Andrea coming out, like everything like completely hit on there. I feel like and somebody who watches far more lucha than I do can correct me on this, but I feel like every mask versus mask I've seen, they like tear at the mask and then they get blood off of that. I'm just like, why don't you just beat the dude? Then their mask comes off anyway. Why are you trying to like tear it off? Like, the whole purpose of this is like you pin them or submit them, and then they got to take the mask off.
What if you don't win? It's a respect thing, and there's no more respect between the two. So you don't know if you're going to be the loser or the winner. So you may as well try to get the upper hand.
I mean, I guess so. Yeah, I guess. It's very funny to me that they tore at the mask, and again, I feel like they do this in every mask versus mask match. But they tore at the mask, and then it's a mask versus mask match, and they continue with it. Yeah, the blood in it was great. Gable was gushing. Like, after the match, it looked really good too, when he has to unmask and everything, and he introduces his family, gives the mask to Kaiser. Yeah, just like everything about it was I don't know, nearly perfect. I was saying best WWE match so far, mask versus mask or Roman versus Punk. I kind of prefer the mask versus mask match, honestly, but it could be I'm recency biasing that one. It legitimately could be that. So yeah, If you prefer Roman and Punk, that's fine. I probably have to go back and rewatch it, and then maybe if I've seen it sooner than I have, but yeah, you know what? Actually, Roman Punk is better.
It was, two very different matches as well, 2 very different presentations on top of it. Yeah. It was. I can see people making reasonings for both. The match itself, the mask versus mask match, yeah, it really, like you said, it hit all the marks. It had the returns that it needed to have. It had the drama. It was really a great culmination of a long story arc that has been more successful in Mexico than it has been in the
Sucks in the US.
So listen, I give them full marks because everyone at the time was like, why isn't this a WrestleMania match? Why aren't they doing a WrestleMania? I think it was like we at the time were like, no, this is not a US match.
Yeah, it couldn't. It
Tri-
was very clear earlier this year that there's no way this match could happen in the United States because it just wasn't going to it wasn't going to hit in the United States. It always had to take place in Mexico. Now I think, early on in the feud it seemed like, okay, you can do this match in the US, but once Kaiser like really got the gimmick over in Mexico, and it was before that brawl angle, but that brawl angle was so good that it was like, yeah, if this takes place anywhere but Mexico, they're stupid.
Yeah, and the story became so much more relatable to a Mexican audience, which like this is the thing I saw in the chat. I think it was who was it? Was it Matthew Hooks who was, calling it a racist angle? And I know that there have been Pulowski had a similar feeling, and I understand it completely because no, it wasn't a Mexican playing the role of the luchador of El Grande Americano, and like both men, one is European and one is American, and neither of them have any Latino heritage that we know of. It felt disjointed to those who knew, but they found a way to at least tell the story respectfully to a Mexican audience, especially at the end when Gable came out. Like his whole speech at the end as he took off the mask was, my name is Chad Gable. I'm from Minnesota. I've competed in the Olympics. I came here to learn all about lucha libre, but I found more about the culture and the people. Like he put over Mexico and lucha and the culture in Mexico before giving the mask over and moving on. So again, I understand people who feel uncomfortable by the story being told and the people playing it, but also I do give a little bit of credence to Gable's speech afterwards, kind of baby facing Mexico and making it known that like we did this as respectfully as we could. You go back to 2000s with Billy and Chuck, right? And a lot of people felt certain ways about the angle that they were doing with Rico, and at the time it was really pushing a boundary, and neither man were gay, but they were trying to at least do it. And the whole thing was, I think it was Vince especially wanted it to be as respectful as possible because they didn't want to upset certain partners, and they did it. So again, uncomfortable. Not you can't always get a one-to-one player in the character you're wanting. So
look, let's be honest. This thing started off as a joke. I'm not gonna say that it was racist because that's a big accusation. It definitely started off as a joke. Though Chad Gable playing a luchador and using AI for lucha history and everything, I would say he personally was making fun of the culture or anything, but it was clear that they were kind of poking at things with Gable. And it started before they acquired AAA. Now, maybe they were, in talks to get AAA when all of this was going down, but it started in early 2025, like January, February, and they didn't make the AAA announcement until WrestleMania, which was April. So it started before that. It started off as a complete joke, and it continued as a joke until Gable got hurt. And then Kaiser took over. And then it was still kind of a joke because Kaiser was doing it a little bit better, but it was still like, it's another El Grande. And then you had Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate, who were also Grandes. And then they, of course, became Brian Bravo. But like, it was still kind of a joke. What saved it, the Gulf of Mexico, Gulf of America stuff, like, it was in poor taste. What saved it was Kaiser embracing it. Like Kaiser went out there and he started to speak Spanish. He started to, go around Mexico and just embrace the culture and the people and the traditions and everything. Started dating Andrea, and they were like, hey, he's one of us out here. Like Kaiser embracing it like really saved the whole thing. And then Gable came back, and so you had the natural feud, and it was still sort of jokey to Gable, but that worked because you had Kaiser to play off of on that. And so, I mean, kudos to Kaiser because this could have completely bombed and they still could have looked at it as a complete joke, but Kaiser was the one who really made this into something. I don't know what it was going to be if Kaiser doesn't portray it the way he portrays it, because it probably just what I guess Gable unmasking, he loses to like Ray or Penta or somebody, and then it still could have been like a jokey presentation of like, haha, I was Chad Gable and you never knew type of thing. Where what they did on Saturday was, as you mentioned, like very respectful to how they do things and very respectful to the culture, which was good to see because the whole thing was a joke to start with.
Yeah, and then Kaiser, like you said, he undertook the culture, and it was very funny how he was like, "A Mexican doesn't need to be born in Mexico," and I'm like, it's
you can be a 24-year-old European.
Right. And it works. And Ryan Lambert saying kudos to Jeremy Borash and his booking of To Play Out, and that's true. It's not just Undertaker, it's not just Mark, it's also Borash, and you know what?
Wow, how dare you give Jeremy Borash any credit? It's obviously the lucha legend, The Undertaker, and only the lucha legend, The Undertaker.
Yeah, it's not TNA Booker Extraordinaire who saved that company in the 2010s when they were in the shitter of shittiest shits.
Yeah, what does Borash know about any type of booking? He used to work for TNA. That company's always sucked.
Yeah, that's right. If there's one thing he knows, it's not how to run a business, right? That's right. By the way, and shout out to Corey Graves. So the English commentary team was remote. Obviously, Rey Mysterio was there. He was on camera for the unmasking ceremony. But like JBL, I'm almost certain was not at the show physically, and Corey Graves was definitely not at the show physically.
Wow, how dare you? I thought Corey was like there, and then he was on a flight, and he got to Italy for Sunday. I was like, damn, Corey's had a busy ass weekend.
They would have called that out if he did, but instead, you know what? Instead, he was in Torino, and he was probably up at like 3 a.m. to call that match, to call that show. And like that's respectable, man. I hope he got a nap in before he got to do the Clash show, but like you got to give a shout out to Corey because that's not something you normally need to do. I remember when Michael Cole was remotely doing, I think it was the Australia shows when it was like a network special, and they were doing it at like 5 a.m. and he was up and doing it. It was kind of, again, it's kind of rad when they show you how much they care or how much coffee they need to get through the day.
The commentary was a little off. Ray's.
He kept trying to get in on stuff, but nobody could see each other. They're not.
Yeah, it's difficult when you have not everybody there next to each other. And Ray, regardless, like I don't know how comfortable he is doing commentary. Ray's never been like a speaker. Like Ray's a fine promo for this day and age, but that was always the knock on him is like he's not like this super charismatic promo or anything. Ray sounded like he was the one that wasn't there. He sounded like he was recording voiceover lines the entire time, just trying to like get in where he fit in type of thing. So the commentary was a little disjointed, but I guess to be expected when not everybody's in the same place.
Can I say something?
It's better than that.
That's fair. Yeah, they did a good job. I thought for the circumstances, it was a strong job, but I look forward to when they're actually in the same room giving commentary, whether that's at the show or remotely. Just when they're together, you can tell it's easier to work with. Anything else from yeah?
Yeah, I hope that they do something with Gable. I don't have any hopes.
Understandable. Understandable.
I feel like Chad is just gonna. He's probably better off just like taking time off and then stay working with AAA and doing something there. I just don't see. I don't see them doing a ton with Gable. Unfortunately, I hope they do. It's tough to believe that this company will, though.
Maybe he should change his name to El Tiny Americano or El Grande Americano Mini, and then he can be in the minis division. Would that work?
No, but
It's Americano versus Dominica Teplemania for sure.
Yeah.
He's got the Rey de Reyes sword, so now he can move on to that. And honestly, I wouldn't be shocked if Americano wins and Kaiser just becomes the guy.
I mean, he already is. Let's be
Yeah.
honest. Like, he is. Like, he's the face of this promotion at this point. Like, I mean, Dominic wasn't even on this show. Maybe he should have in some capacity, but he wasn't even on this show. I mean, Kaiser's the guy in AAA.
I'm curious, like, is Dominic okay?
Yeah, I don't think. I mean, he joked, in interviews leading up to Clash because they didn't have a match for him. He joked that like they don't know what to do with me, and I don't know how much of a joke that is because I'm not sure they do know what to do with Dominic because he's obviously a great character, but you don't want to beat him too much. But they also don't want to just like put random titles on him because we had his Intercontinental title run and he was injured. It was whatever type of thing, but I don't think they have any idea what to do with Dominic. I don't think they have any idea what to do with a lot of people. I mean, look at what they're doing with Liv Morgan. She's the champion. It's like, you want to be in Queen of the Ring because we don't have anything else for you at the moment. So I don't think they know what they're doing with a lot of people right now.
We'll get into that. Dom is scheduled to be in a 4-way for the King of the Ring tournament. So
he was in the King of the Ring, sure. Everybody's in the friggin' King of the Ring.
Allegedly, he's cleared to wrestle, so there's at least that. Yeah. At least we don't have to worry whether or not there's an injury.
No, I didn't think it was injury related. I legit just don't think they have any idea what to do with him.
It's absolutely wild. Well, we'll get into the King of the Ring stuff and the Queen of the Ring stuff because, whoo, buddy, there's a lot to talk about there. What shall we do? Shall we do Clash, or do you want to do? I don't know. Collision was was fine. It was a good show of wrestling, and yeah, TBS title has been discussed and put on a plan.
Yeah, they're not starting that until after Forbidden Door, right?
No, they're doing a series of qualifiers, so you have to do at least 6 matches. So I guess maybe they are going to wait until after the Owen to do it. So you got to do 6 matches to qualify, and then you got 6 competitors. They're going to do Survival of the Fittest. So that's July 1st in San Diego, California. That's going to be where they crown a new TBS champion. So it sounds like they're going to do 6 qualifiers and then lead it to the match going into
right. But the match is taking place after Forbidden Door.
Yes.
Yeah, that seems dumb. Why not just have the match at Forbidden Door?
Probably because they don't want to take away from the Owen where they give another belt.
The Forbidden Door finals are the Owen finals at Forbidden Door?
I want to say yes. Yes.
Okay.
I want to say yes.
All right. I mean, maybe. I don't know. It feels like their schedule's screwed up sometimes. It would make sense if that was the case. I guess because Survival of the Fittest is probably going to be a longer match, and so maybe you want to give it more time than Forbidden Door. I mean, it's a 3.5 million year pay-per-view, so yeah, I don't know.
And also the July 1st Survival of the Fittest match, it's on a 3-hour show. It's another 3-hour Dynamite Collision.
Oh, okay.
So that's going to play into timing.
Yeah.
They might just let it take the bulk of the Collision 3rd hour. Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised. I would expect the TBS title, which is hilarious because they don't air Collision on TBS, on TNT. They'll run most of the matches through Collision as the means to get the TBS title, the bigger part of the picture there.
Yeah.
I mean, they put more women's matches on Collision than they did Dynamite this week, and the matches that they had were fantastic for Collision. So it is worth
this week's Collision.
I mean, the match with Hazuki and Maya World was great.
Oh yeah, that okay.
The 5-minute challenge with Ty J was good. They accomplished what they were supposed to do, which was last the 5.
Oh, and you're talking just the women's matches. Yeah, Hazuki and Maya World was very good, and then the main event was very good. Everything else felt like, all right, let's go out here and do these wrestling matches these wrestling matches.
I was speaking specifically on the women's division and its use on Collision versus its use on Dynamite.
Okay, fair. Yeah, Collision was a show. There was nothing wrong with it or anything. There were too many guest commentators. I was like, do we need a guest commentator for every single match?
It's just like we're back to pandemic wrestling, or when Jericho would be on every episode of Rampage screaming in our ears.
This was too much on the guest commentary side of things, and like I like Moxley, I like Ciampa. I don't think either of them did bad or anything. But then you had, I don't think Persephone was bad. Then you had Shane Taylor and you had Marina on there as well. I didn't think they were great, and I like Shane Taylor, but he felt a little unnecessary there, and there's just too many on the guest commentary. I don't think like guest commentators add that much to it. You know, like either, and it becomes a 3-person booth at that point when I already think three people is too much. Moxley's good because like he doesn't give a fuck, and so that's why I do like him out there. Everybody else, I just I did like Ciampa's list promo. I thought that was very funny.
It was good. Here's the one thing that I don't like is if you're going to do a list promo, don't have it be a bunch of pieces of paper just taped together. Get a roll. Get a proper godforsaken roll of paper so you can do the bits. I didn't like that it was a bunch of paper taped up. Some intern in the back.
No, that's funnier.
No, some intern in the back had to, tape it up, and that's just extra work you could have done elsewhere.
It's funnier.
Stop.
With the do I want Tony doing the bulk of commentary? Not really, but I don't think Tony's bad as a 2-person with Nigel, though. I don't. I've said that. I think he's unnecessary on Dynamite when you have Taz and Excalibur, and I feel like Taz and Shivani hate each other for the entire show. So I don't think that works, but I think Tony and Nigel is fine on Collision commentary. So I don't like a 3-person booth though. I've never liked a 3-person booth. I just think it becomes too much unless there's the right dynamic at play. And at least with everybody here, it was two color and Tony is the play-by-play. So like it's okay, but I just didn't need this many guest commentators. Just let Moxley be there the whole time, and then it'll be fun. Yeah, look, Tony screws up a lot of things. I don't think he should be the lead at this point. It's probably past him, but then you're probably not doing anything with him because if he's not the lead, I don't think he works as a third with like Excalibur there. I would like Ian to do Collision. I think Ian would be great. Yeah, Ian, Brian, and Nigel are good because, again, you have 2 color and 1 play-by-play. That's the best mix for a 3-person. The reason why it doesn't work on Dynamite is Tony is too much play-by-play, but you already have Excalibur for that. So it just doesn't work. I think Ian and Nigel would be great as just a 2-person booth. But, yeah, Caprice is great. I just don't know if they see him as doing more than ROH, which is fine.
He takes those long pauses because he has production in his ear telling him what to say, and he just freezes up. And we've seen it. I'm sorry, it's just what it is. Is he Dame?
Yeah, is he Dame? Yeah, the 3-person booth doesn't work for me, and Tony isn't unfortunately that good anymore.
You know what they should bring? They should bring in Adnan Virk. There's a guy who can absolutely just crush it. Did you know that his favorite matches involved Demolition because he saw a Demolition match?
Fair.
Yeah, huge wrestling fan.
I mean, fair, honestly. You know what annoys me? You know what like annoyed me on this Collision show, and it's very stupid, but this probably annoyed you, Joel. This is a production thing. They do the Polaroid on Austin with the dogs, and they go to do like the 5-second pose, but then they close up on Austin with the Polaroid on his face. So you miss the posing from Connors and Finley.
This is a common trope with AEW production, though. They miss a lot of shots, and you just at one point I'm not going to talk about those ones because there are more egregious things at play, but that is definitely one of them.
Nah, that one annoyed me because the 5-second pose is apparently their bit now. So like you kind of got to hit that portion of it. That one annoyed me. I thought that match was just like whatever. I thought Connor's timing was off on a few things. I really like Austin Gunn. I don't know what it is. I'm gonna get a I was gonna say hard on for Austin Gunn. Austin Gunn's gonna be like my cult favorite here.
No, that's Colton. He would be your cult favorite.
And Colton, yeah, fair. Nah, I really like Austin Gunn though. I mean the guns are pretty over. But yeah, watching them, I was like, damn, they should just be doing more with these guys. But yeah, I do like the guns. I thought they were good in this match, and I thought the dogs were fine, but Connor's timing looked a little off on certain things. So, but fine match on a show with mainly fine matches outside of the women's singles match, which was really good, and the main event was really good, as you'd expect from Takeshita and Garcia.
Yeah, those two men for the international championship tore it up. I thought it was a very, very good match, and Takeshita eventually turns it around, gets the win, and Garcia unfortunately loses another one. Could not put his toe into Konosuke Takeshita's hole.
Yeah, and Marina's funny. Like,
she is.
I don't know if she's good on commentary, but she's funny, so I'll give her that much.
It counts. Listen, you got to get over somehow, but for her, she was supposed to get over by being a badass silent type, and then it turned out that when she opens her mouth, it's actually hilarious stuff that comes out.
Yeah, I couldn't like buy this whole thing.
Yeah,
because like I'm sorry, like I like Shane Taylor Promotions, but we ain't trying to pretend they're threats around here.
It was a very strange finish because it was all just waiting for Nigel to do something, and then he does. It was like, all right, now Nigel's still wrestling here.
That was stupid because like Lee and Nigel go face to face, or maybe it was Carly, but then Carly like pulls Lee away after Nigel like hits him and everything. I was like, he just hit you, dude. Like, why won't you let Lee smack the shit out of him? Like, the whole thing was just kind of stupid. And like, what are we building here? Another Lee and Nigel match? Like, all right, fine. I mean, they're kind of building that anyway because they had Nigel beat Josh Woods at the pay-per-view when it looked like they were setting Josh Woods up for a title match. And he just gets beat by Nigel. And of course, Lee's still the peer champion. So, okay, we're just going to build Lee and Nigel again for the peer titles. Like, we did this and he broke the record. It's like, what? No one could possibly care about this ROH stuff on Collision. I'm sorry.
I mean, if this is a bridge through which they finally move some of these guys out of Ring of Honor and into Collision, then that's great. But like, if the focus is all for naught and they all just end up back on Ring of Honor and nothing of substance happens, then yeah, I agree with you. I'm willing to give it a little bit of time. If this is like, we're going to keep putting Shane Taylor Promotions on the show because maybe we're going to start phasing them out. They lost the 6-man tag titles. Maybe they're going to go and start building into the trios division, which we know in AEW is not super important to begin with. But if you've got Shane Taylor Promotions and people like them and they're getting over with the crowd, then you can at least start incorporating them into Collision and make it something. You got to do. You got to eventually start, piss or get off the pot type of scenario with these guys.
I mean, I don't disagree. Like, I would like Shane Taylor Promotions on AEW more regularly and then move them off of ROH. I have no faith in that happening. We've done this. Hey, here's Shane Taylor Promotions for 2 weeks on AEW programming. It feels like every 6 months, and then they're just back to ROH where they have a bunch of titles and stuff. And yeah, look, if they changed the audible to Woods and Nigel, and that's why they Woods ended up losing because of the injury, then you gotta try to do something with that. And maybe they're trying to do their best on this, but I just don't have any faith that there's the long-term plans for Shane Taylor Promotions outside of, hey, you guys are in town for Collision? Cool. Let's use you here, and then we'll see you in a couple months, and we'll do this all over again. I think I'm going to Collision on Saturday.
They're in Youngstown?
Yeah.
All right.
Well, they announced They announced the women's tag match, right? Isn't that on this show?
Persephone Hazuki and the women's tag title match. Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
That's actually 2 really fun matches you can be watching. So, Yeah, if you make it, that sounds like a good time.
Yeah, we're gonna try. We're gonna try to go there, but yeah, it should be a good show. Persephone and Hazuki will be a lot of fun. The Divine Dominion and Tai J this week was like okay, but it was a 5 minute match literally, and you knew they were just kind of working towards that 5 minutes. So I expect the match on Saturday to be better because they'll actually get hopefully a little bit of time with it.
Yeah, we'll see what transpires. But again, yeah, Collision was fine. It was not super special, and you got a couple of really good matches thrown in. So it was a WCW Thunder episode of Collision.
That's a little mean.
What was it? You and me talking about this, or me and SP3, where it's either Saturday night or it's Collision, depending on how it's presented that week. Some weeks it feels like WCW Saturday night, and some weeks it feels like a WCW Thunder.
Back when it was us. I just think Saturday night means more than Thunder by the end of it. Like Thunder just sucks.
Thunder had some stuff happen sometimes in the the 90s, in the early parts.
Most of Thunder sucked.
98 Thunder. There you go. Redmond Survivor gets it.
You're just listening to Redmond Survivor could have said 99 Thunder, and you'd be like, yeah, 99 Thunder.
No, 99 Thunder sucked. Nobody was watching that shit.
I was. It ruled.
Back when Thunder had before they got the rooftop entrance ramp. Do you remember the first one that they had? It was like a bunch of rocks.
Oh, yeah.
It was ugly as sin, but it was great. And then they got to the better one, and it was I like that one, the rooftop.
As Saturday night, especially like early Saturday night, that was kind of like the main show. Out there. Then Saturday night just became matches for the sake of matches. And
that's kind of that's the Saturday night that I'm comparing it to. I'm not comparing it to the Saturday night that mattered. I'm talking to.
See, I think the Saturday night is. I remember that more fondly than I do Thunder. Thunder is nothing but trash. Like trash I love, don't get me wrong. It's right up my alley, but it doesn't have like actual memories. My favorite memory of Thunder will always be Kevin Nash with the Old Glory bit throughout the show after he just got fired from being the booker. And so they're like, well, they got to do something with me. So here I am on commentary. And Mike Tenay is like, oh, that's the Old Glory clothesline. He's like, wait, he calls it the Old Glory clothesline? He's like, yeah. And Nash, the rest of the show, just goes, you know what he calls that, Tenay? The Old Glory knee drop. Like all the Old Glory leapfrog. So good. So good.
Nash just never gave it.
He didn't give a fuck during that time.
See, but if I call a Kevin Nash match stupid, he'd absolutely agree with me.
Yeah, he'd be like, yeah, true.
That's stupid. Anyway.
Got paid a lot of money, though. I don't care how stupid you think it was.
That's all that mattered. He got paid a lot of money, and he still did great.
Bless Kevin Nash.
Anyway, that was Collision. Let's before we get into the before we get into the
main event of the NWA review, let's get into Clash in Italy.
That's really what I meant. Let's do the power review, and then we'll get into Clash. Folks, get your super chats and your humper chats. This is what we do. Literally 5 days a week over on our sister channel, Fightful Overbooked. But on the first Monday of the month, we're here, we're clear, and we talk about God knows what. Louis sent me on Blue Sky, as he always does. It's time for the internet's only NWA power review, the recap. 3 hours, by the way. The champ that runs the camp.
I appreciate that bit.
It's got the best bit in wrestling. The champ that runs the camp, Silas Mason, opens the show in the ring and threatens to thrill off Kerry Morton for last week's betrayal. Thrillbilly rules, 2.5 stars. This wasn't a match, Louis. What are we doing?
That's all right. You can read promos. Okay, that's okay.
Fine. I'm not going to, you're right. Multiple John Cena and LA Knight commercials follow, and then we rejoin the program with Pretty Boy Smooth back in the ring against Mike Knox, fresh, quote unquote, off retiring Trevor Murdoch, because that happened like 6 months ago. With a quick but hard-hitting affair via submission while wearing purple velour pants. 2.5 stars. Shout out to Pretty Boy Smooth. You wear those velour pants. NWA Women's Television Champion Giselle Shaw defended against my personal favorite vampiress, Serena Vale. Vale tries to end it early, given the 6:05 time limit on these matches, but Shaw avoids the bloodbath. Vale tries the submission route, but Shaw is able to counter. The 2-minute warning hits with Shaw in control and Vale desperate to pull off the upset. Shaw and Vale trade blows, but neither is able to gain the advantage as time expires. Shaw retains. They continue to trade blows, so this is to be continued. Solid 2.5 stars. Recommend. Shout out to Giselle Shaw, who recently did an interview with our own Sean Ross Sapp, and also, is she listed here? No, but Tiffany Nieves also recently did an interview with Sean. So go check those out if you want to talk a little bit more NWA or hear from some.
Which we don't cover the NWA.
Which we don't, but here we are. Alex Taylor discussed his championship ambitions with Carson Drake before wrestling the only person on earth named Axton. 2.5 stars for the match, 0 stars for the name. It's fair. If I ever meet a kid named Axton, I'm gonna beat up their dad. Main event time as the is it Kazantas? Yes, no, Kazanas, or is it Sazanas? Kazanas, fresh off a loss in the Crockett Cup Finals, face the tag champs, the Immortals, fresh off a Streisand effect controversy and a first-round upset. Lots of slapping and punching, followed by more slapping and punching and occasionally some kicking. Odinson hits a jackhammer, but takes 2 shots from the loaded book, and we have new tag champs. The Country Gentlemen are new World Tag Team Champions. An inoffensive 2.5 star match, which is more than you can say for Odinson right now.
Did you see this, Louis? I'm not asking you. I'm asking NWA expert Louis.
Fair, yes.
Here.
Oh, sorry. There's one more thing. He says happy birthday and absolutely nothing else after that.
Oh, that could be to anybody.
Yeah, exactly.
Did you see what actually happened with the Odinson thing, Louis? Because I get this message from Sean, and he's like, NWA is about to release this statement on Odinson. I was like, what did he do? And I'm Google searching it. I'm searching it on Twitter. I'm looking all around for this thing. And there's nothing. Nobody covered this. Nobody clipped it. There was literally nothing on this. And I'm like, you guys releasing a statement. Look, I respect that they put out a statement and they wanted to, make their stance clear on everything. I was like, you guys doing this, actually brought more attention to it than it already had, because there was 0 attention to it. Matt Hardy ass is over here bringing attention to something no one knew about. I did end up seeing what had happened. I don't know if I'll get in trouble for saying it. So what Odinson did effectively, do I need permission from I don't know who I would need permission.
Type it in the private chat and I will tell you whether or not it's appropriate.
Okay.
I will act as your BS&T.
Okay. I put it in the... It says studio chat, and I thought it said stupid chat.
Well, it's that too. Yeah, I think you're fine.
Okay.
It was a really stupid thing to say, but
yeah,
it wasn't as offensive as other things that could have been said.
Yeah. So Odinson does this promo on somebody. I forgot who he was facing, so I apologize to that guy. But okay, can I say it, Ryan? Let me get Ryan's permission on this as well. It's Pride Month. I don't want to offend out here in these streets. So he cuts this promo on somebody, and he used some homophobic language, and I don't know if he's actually homophobic or anything. I've never met this guy. Oh, okay. Let me say that.
He did one point tag with Pero, so there is that.
Yeah, he did. So yeah. He didn't use an F slur. No, he didn't use that. It was he called him a gay cowboy in the promo. That's what he said. Hey, it was part of the promo. It was a stupid word choice, and I guess he was trying to get, I don't know if he was trying to get heat. I don't know what he was trying to do. It was pretty dumb thing to say, honestly. And based on what I read from other people, it's like I don't think he's homophobic. It sounds like he's a good person overall behind the scenes, and he treats people well and stuff. It just sounds like he was trying to just like do something and to get a reaction, and that was the terminology he decided to use, which was really stupid, and they had to issue a statement on it. But like no one covered any of this. No one knew it existed until NWA put out a statement. I kind of felt bad for the social media team that put it out, and like every reply to it was, what did he say? What is this even about here? And I'm like, oh, okay. All right, we have a guest. I'm going to issue a comment now. Cam, if you are here to be mean, do not bother being here. I am not in the
look on his face
in the mood to be mean to. I feel like we're on the same page with how serious we take these things. So I would not be mean to you, and I do not want you to be mean to me. So if you're going to be mean, I will boot you from the show very quickly, and you have been issued fair warning of this, that I will I might have a funeral on air if you're going to be mean to me, and so I have to protect myself by kicking you off of the show if that is what you are here to do. Cam Hawkins is here. Hello.
I'm absolutely shocked that I come to wish my friend a happy birthday.
Thanks.
Mm-hmm.
And you would even, the fact that you think I would take advantage of a moment like that and make it about myself. It's a terrible thing. Just horrible.
Dice on you to say happy birthday to Joel. Enjoy the rest of your day, Cam. I hope you have a good day.
He was saying nice things about me, though.
Nah.
He was saying nice things. What happened?
I think his connection died or something. I'm not sure what happened there. I have no idea.
All right. Well, let me can we give him one last shot?
No. No.
No. Damn.
No.
Hold on. I feel bad. He was saying such nice things.
He just said happy birthday. That's it.
Oh, okay. That was it.
Bye, Cam.
I love you too, Cam. Thank you so much.
I can respect the bit of when he was wearing the hat and he had his partner there to wear everything. Nah, I respect it. But Cam also knows Booster ate the internet cables.
Damn, who would have thought? Even though it's Wi-Fi, who would have thought?
I don't think Cam was gonna be super mean. Yeah, I don't like. I booted Cam because he was saying nice things about Joel.
Yeah, that's how it goes.
Cam is a good person. I don't think Cam was actually here to be super mean to me. I got nothing but respect for the Spurs. If they win the title, they will win me some more money because I put a lot of money on them to win the title in December, and their odds were very good in December. So that could certainly pay off for me. So they did win me a lot of money on Saturday, and I at least I got that to fall back on since my team is no longer playing basketball. Well, what can you do?
Well, I
knew Cam would show up today.
Yeah, you felt it in your bones.
Yes, I told my wife that too. Because I was thinking before the series he might show up at some point. I was like, I don't think Cam's gonna show up until like after it's over, and especially after the Spurs win, because like he's not the type of person that's gonna be like, oh, we're up 2-1 or 3-2, like let me brag now. It's like we were up 2-1 and 3-2 when we lost. So, there's no reason to celebrate when you're up 2-1 and 3-2. You celebrate like after the series is over. So I told my wife, I was like, I bet Cam shows up today. And I'm like, if he does, I'm going to issue a statement before he pops on air to let him know that if he gets booted, it will be his own doing. No. Absolutely not. Do I want it to? Do I think there's a team could make a better offer than Chet and the 12th overall pick? No. They're not going to get a better offer than that if OKC wanted to make that trade, because that would be the trade. It would be Chet and the 12th overall pick. We're keeping Dub. We're keeping everybody else. They're not going to get a better offer than a lottery pick and an all-star. But OKC's not going to make that offer. They're going to stay the course. They'll make some minor moves. I think Lou is probably gone, which is unfortunate, but he'll forever be an NBA champion. So yeah, they'll stay the course, and they're going to be good again next year. I don't know if looking back to the championship, injuries happens and stuff, but they're going to be good again next year, and we'll see what the hell happens. Zach, I'm sorry that you endured that game. I'm going to be honest. I think one of the reasons why I took Saturday so well is because I turned the game off in the third quarter. I could tell how the game was going, and I was not going to put myself through it. I was like, it's not going that well. I watched the AAA show live. Like, I didn't even watch it on delay or anything. I was watching that show live. Yeah. So that's I was just over it in the third quarter. I was like, we're gonna make a fake run and get back into it, but I'm not gonna put myself through this game. And I think that was the correct call for my own sanity. And so I think that's why I ended up taking it kind of well. On top of the cope with on top of the cope with the injuries and everything. Yeah, it's gonna suck to lose Lou and Kenrich. It is, considering they are such big parts of the culture and everything. But cap crunch, Kaysen's really good. Topic is coming in. Sorber's hopefully gonna be good. We have the 12th overall pick. Hopefully we get a good player there, or we'll be okay. We just need a healthy J-Dub. We do. Now, I saw his shirts. I saw Rose's gear as well. I knew it was going further. That's why I said no. I love Cam. He's fantastic. Chet sucked. I love Chet. He sucked the whole series. He defensively trash. The Spurs bullied him the entire series. There was no rim protection. It was very unfortunate. I assume he's coming back. He's got to put on some size and strength. He can't get bullied like that every single drive to the rim. So we'll see. Unfortunately, got to wait 5 months until stuff happens, and then we will go from there. So yeah. All right. Wait. Clash in the cage.
Clash in the cage. Rage in the cage.
Yeah.
We got a couple super chats. Draws Walker sends me one saying, happy birthday, Joel. Hope you have a good one. In the Weeds is where it's at. Thank you so much. And we're here Monday to Friday, 10 a.m. Eastern, usually on Fightful Overbooked, but it's the first Monday of the month. So here we are. And we do this show for you on the main so that you come over to Overbooked and hang out with us. It's us Monday to Friday. And then, of course, on Thursday evenings, Jeremy and Steven Jensen do the Spotlight. On Fridays, you've got the Spotlight. It's not the Spotlight. Wow, you got Coexisting on Fridays with Rob and Maggie. And on Sundays, JPJ and Collins go coast to coast. So check all those shows out. There's plenty of content every single day over on Fightful Overbooked. And you want to see it. And Volab also adds a super chat saying, you think if/when Tony gets the PWG library on my AEW that he's going to disclaimers on every video and clip? Sean kind of had a good point in one of his Q&As that if this were to happen, the easiest thing to do is just hire a few temp workers to go through the video library, ingest and make note and either cut or add disclaimer, whatever it is. That's what WWE did when they were in tape acquisition mode. They were hiring people all the time. I would see their job board and it was all just temporary people to go and make notes on whatever was being ingested. So that's kind of what I would expect if they ever acquired PWG or any library that has some risque content from their past.
I think they would just cut it out. That I don't know if it'd be like a disclaimer. I think you would just you would just cut it and that be that if they end up doing it. Yeah, maybe you can do a disclaimer. But cut it and act like it never existed. I mean, fans who know will know, but also a lot of younger fans just won't even know about it. So you move on from it. is I don't think a disclaimer fully helps things because they cut stuff on WWE. Like they cut like the DX segment with like blackface and everything, and they cut some other stuff as well.
I think there were some things were going to be so egregious that they had to go, and then there were some things it's like you slap a warning.
There are some things that are so egregious on PWG that they gotta go. So
yeah, I'm not disagreeing with you there. So it would be up to them. But yeah, isn't PWG on high spots? It is, but high spots kind of comes and goes. They closed down and then reopened recently, so there is that. Yeah. And also like the ownership of AEW / most of its talent are PWG alumni / founders. So it would be easy for them if they made that deal. If it was lucrative enough, it made sense. We'll see. They have one FW, and if they decide that they're going to expand beyond that, that'll be up to the crew.
Yeah,
I know of some indies that are pitching and that are saying, we would be a perfect spot for you for our product. It just comes down to whether or not that's...
Is it Smash, since you work for Smash?
It's Smash and Mystery. Mystery is actually Uno's moving off of his own Twitch channel to go join my AEW. If that happens in like 2 months, I'm going to be looking back at this and be like, oh shit, someone's going to say I narked, but I didn't. I don't know. I don't work for them.
I don't know. I've heard you work for them.
Yeah, that's right. Those four zebras really had a lot to say, wasn't it?
I heard you do work for them, Joel.
Woof. And Joel is the source. Yeah, that's right. Again, I go back to that one guy yesterday on the Clash post show who literally said, no offense, but who are these two? I watch for Sean. And I'm like, exactly.
Yeah.
I get it.
And yet people are making videos and comments about your stupid opinion, Joel.
And so, yes and no. This, from a synergistic standpoint, Matthew, yes, Mystery and my AEW makes sense. However, if you look at it, Mystery, I'm going to cough 1 second. Mystery is fairly hands off from AEW, and it's Uno's promotion. It is Uno, and to a certain degree, Stu. It is like it's their baby. It is their work. For them to show up on my AEW, it makes sense again from Uno working with AEW, but like, what if he doesn't? What if Uno decides to part ways? What if he wants to make Mystery his one and only program and he wants the full ownership of that? Then he can't, monetize on his YouTube and his Twitch. It comes down to, where are you making the most money, and the Patreon as well. Is it worth shutting down that platform to then move over to my AEW, where you cannot guarantee that the money is going to be similar or better than what you're getting? So from a where I work standpoint, not me, but from Uno's standpoint, where I work, does it make sense to move over there and just put your content there?
Yeah, we talked about it when 1FW was added. Is like, I don't know the logistical split behind any of this, and until you know that, like, it's tough to say who could go where on these things, because I don't know what my AEW is making off of this, and like if it's worthwhile for them to have shows that are currently live to put them on the platform, or do you just put the tape? What's this? That's all way above my pay grade on that stuff, and so that's why I don't get attached to like, well, this makes sense and that makes sense. I mean, sure, it makes sense in like who works there. Like, to me, like WrestlePro would make some sense, even though Myers is with TNA, but Pat Buck is with AEW. But like, I could see a world where it makes sense, but then I look at it like, well, WrestlePro might not want to do anything like that. I also think that Tony doesn't want to like have a bunch of indies on there, and then you run the risk of becoming my or WWE Network, and like that backfired completely. So the cost effectiveness might not be worthwhile to have all of these promotions, especially if some of them are going to run live and stuff. I have no idea on this, but Smash will be there soon, according to Joel Pearl.
Talk to Sebastian Swaff. There are other. I'm not doing this right now. Yeah, who knows who knows who goes to my AEW, if anyone. Again, it could just be 1FW, it could be other AEW owned / part of ownership companies, but yeah, we'll just go from there. Clash in Italy, WWE. That was a fun show. It was a very straightforward wrestling show. Some things were good, some things were not so fun. But I think overall, the crowd made it a much more fun experience, and the fact that it was on in the afternoon made it equally so. But what did you think overall of the Clash show?
It was fine. Like there was, it went by pretty quickly. I didn't think there was anything like terrible on it. You know, it was a show. These shows feel, the crowd was good, yeah, as you would expect from a overseas crowd. That helped things. No match is gonna stick with me past today. Like maybe some of the results, but you know, there wasn't anything like a home run type of match or anything. It was a show. You know what, like my final thoughts on this show was after it was over?
Thank God it's 5:00 and I can go have dinner and the rest of my night's free.
Well, I mean, sort of, but it feels like this company is just like afraid to take a risk.
Yes. This was actually a really interesting point on Reddit of all places. Someone posted.
I don't read Reddit.
I know, right?
Unless they bury you, which unfortunately they didn't bury you.
Not this time. Someone had posted, and it got like downvoted to hell, but it made perfect sense. They were like, Roman and Cody are going to retain, not just because of the long-term plan, but also they're doing Street Fighter PR. You don't think they want those titles front and center as much as they can for the stuff that they're doing? And I was like, yes, in terms of Cody would absolutely, Roman would be like, I don't give a shit. But like for Cody, he would absolutely bring that title everywhere he goes. And for them to do that with Street Fighter integration, like that made sense. But everyone was like, no, they're not. You know, Gunther. And I was like, nah, the odds were even for a reason. But they don't want to take that risk. And we've seen plenty of people kind of get screwed out of the opportunity because of that. Braun Breaker being chief among them. And now you've got Braun Breaker, and then you've got Samoan Braun Breaker going after the world title against Roman Reigns. That's what they've made Jacob Fatu into almost a Samoan Braun Breaker. Because now he's going through the barricade and he's trying to get top speed running. And it's like, these are the same spots. I'm not saying it's 1-to-1, but I'm saying they're trying to strap a rocket to one guy while the other one was right there.
Hey, I mean, it's not only that, sure, of with Jacob and Gunther and everything. You mentioned Braun Breaker. Like, you can go back to Braun Breaker and when they didn't put the title on him. Like, it just, the company just feels, and not turning Cody and everything, even though, you know, that match was all over the place when it came to the layout and the story they were trying to tell. And Oba, like, it just feels like they're afraid to take a risk. It's like, oh, we have our established guys and we're going to keep going with our established guys. And it's like, man, I don't know, can I get something a little bit different at some point? There was opportunities here to like take a risk, and they took literally zero. They didn't put the title on Gunther. Instead, they did some, I don't know if the finish was screwed up or if this is how it was supposed to be. Regardless, it looked terrible with Gunther's foot outside of the rope, but then Cody pulls it up, and this whole Cody, like, wins by not necessarily cheating, but like, oh shucks, like I just kind of like lucked into this win and I didn't know what was going on, but I still pulled it out. I don't know who that's for at this point. Like, either have the dude win clean and let's just do LOL Cody wins, or actually like beat him and move on. And so that was a risk they didn't take. Oba and Brock, man, when Oba got back in the ring after the F5 through the table and Brock sells, like, oh shit, what am I supposed to, and Oba's running wild and he's going for the fall from grace. I was like, they should just call the audible now and have Oba win. Imagine the shock and the flag you plant if Oba takes all those F5s, kicks out, takes the F5 through the table, gets the Kimura and is using one arm, gets in the ring, fires up, and beats Brock with a couple of uppercuts, a choke slam, and a fall from grace. Imagine how much you establish this dude if that's the finish. And no, Brock just escapes another F5, and that's the victory. And then Roman and Jacob, it's not that I expected Jacob to win or anything, but you could have taken a risk of Jacob winning. He is now the tribal chief. Maybe the Usos turn on Roman, and you have a different dynamic there. I don't know. Roman wins, and you got the Solo and the Sokoas there, and Roman's like, he's next.
That's the most egregious part of it all.
That's hilarious to me. That is the most like risk aversion thing I've ever seen of, let's just run back Roman and Solo and the Bloodline against the Bloodline 2.0. Like, this Solo group isn't cooked beyond repair at this point. They are cooked so bad they throw this out into the scraps, and even the raccoons are staying away from this thing. They're like, no, this ain't for us. Nah, we're gonna go over here and find some other trash to nibble on, because this is way done over here. Absolutely terrible.
Like, SP3's in the chat and saying, we shouldn't give WWE any leeway just because the crowds are hot, and it's true. Like, both things can be true at once. No, we don't give them more because the crowds are hot. We at least give the crowd something because they came and they made the show at least more palatable. They made it at least a little more interesting that, like, I could sit through and not be listening to crickets. Doesn't mean that the rest of the show is better for it. I think if anything, it's maybe saved from being an absolute dog shit show. The crowd does matter, and the reaction of the crowd does kind of influence how we watch the show. And when there's a hot crowd, like, it's helpful. I'm not saying that it's the answer, but it's certainly something worth mentioning.
I'd prefer if the crowd was like, this shit sucks.
They're just not, because the fans that go to these shows, they want to be there. They're going to cheer for the people, and they're going to get, they're going to get involved with the chants. And
the overseas crowds are always good. Like, if the overseas crowds are bad, then your product is really terrible.
Yes.
The overseas crowds are always going to do their chants and get into the shows and everything, but this still wasn't a good show despite the crowd being good. This was a crowd that was good because it was overseas, and they paid $18 million for these seats, and so they're like, hey, let's not have our money go to waste here, and let's have a good time with this show, even though it's the most bare bones, paint by numbers, safe show in the world. And that's effectively what this show was. It was a show, again, that I'm not going to remember a day from now. Nothing stood out as being like great. I thought Rhea and Jade was good, especially they worked really hard. There was some good stuff in it. There was some screwed up stuff in it, but that was a second longest match on the show. Like, they got a lot of time on it as well, which good for them. And I really liked that match, by the way. The Jade and Rhea match. I thought it made a lot of sense. You're right. There were some things that were kind of like messed up, but in form of a fight feel and in form of just the story that they had been telling, and the fact that Jade has been getting reps with really high level wrestlers in that company, it's proven that she's learning and growing with it, which is great. So no, I really enjoyed Rhea and Jade. Yeah, like that was a fun match. Like, Oba and Brock, for what it was good, but obviously the result no one's super thrilled with. And don't give me, and I've seen some people do it, and it's not, I don't think it's anybody in our chat, but I've seen it. But this is WWE logic of, well, look what Oba went through to be put down. And look how Brock sold. What a monster Oba is. I don't know what Brock was doing. The 1+1, you're done. I was like, what?
Yeah, everyone was like, you're just bad at math. Like,
like what kind of math is this?
1+1 just means you've had two matches and you each split a fall. So because so what you're talking about with people saying, you know, oh, look how much Brock gave him and that he sold for him. Like, yes, that is.
And Brock didn't give him shit. Brock gave him like 2 offensive moves.
Yeah, like Brock sold how much Oba took, and that was the amount of selling. I understand why some people feel that way. It's kind of a level of cope. But this has also been the Brock play for years now, that you do 3 matches with him. And that's been the Brock playbook. And it's so, again, going back to not taking chances, you could have just left this at 2 matches. Oba wins both, and then Brock has a crisis of conscience. Does he stay? Does he go? Is he the old man out? Like, it's time to take Old Yeller behind the barn. Like, you could have done it. But instead, they gave him another win, and then they're going to have to go to a third because, Rena, I hear that Saudi Arabia is really beautiful this time of year, and the kids can come with us this time because it's in June. And then she'll be like, I'm not taking them to a war zone. It's not a war zone. You just have to make sure that you have the security with you all the time. I love that Brock shows up to the show, does the first possible match he can that's not the free one on ESPN because he already gave them that, and then he just goes right home and says, fuck this, I'm out.
I love that. Pile driver finisher. I thought you were Zeno Hour. This was such a point of I'm on the boat, but from the standpoint, that's the story the company is trying to give us. Do they have to? No. Yeah, that's the story they're trying to give you. Yep. Like it's 100% the story they're trying to give you. It's just, it's a safe story. It's the story they typically do, as Joel mentioned. It's like, 3 matches with Brock. Like, okay, give me something different here. Imagine if after Oba took that F5 through the table and got in the ring, he hit that fall from grace and pinned Brock. Think of the reaction.
Yes.
That would have gotten. And think of like how made Oba is off of that. Instead, Brock took away from the WrestleMania thing by retiring. And instead of that living as a moment of Oba retiring Brock, he comes back a month later and he beats him. And yeah, Brock sold well for Oba. He sold how much of a monster Oba is and how much it took to like put him down and everything. But at the end of the day, he won. Like he did win.
And he won decisively. He didn't cheat to win, which he could have done. That last
he attacked him after before the bell. Like that's the story though. Is like, we had to jump Oba to get the advantage, and then Oba never recovered. Like that's what they're going for.
Yeah, but Oba did recover with the table spot, and he looked brand new. And it could have been that like he came. Brock literally. I listen. I know I make the dick punching reference a lot, but like, he could have kicked him in the dick when the referee turned his back and then did the F5. And that would have been good enough because we would have known that there was at least some underhandedness that Brock did. Instead of making Brock look like the monster he usually is presented as, you could have made it look like Brock had to get a little squirrely to get his win. A little cheaty.
But, yeah, it was a match. And the action was fine.
I disagree with this idea. If Dave is saying treat Oba like Goldberg, I disagree. People can lose, but it's how they lose that matters to the greater scheme of things.
I don't think Oba should be losing.
I don't think Oba should be losing without a very good reason, but I also don't think winning streaks are well done. I don't think that they're well done. They do become a little bit paint by numbers, but at this point, like, I wouldn't treat him like Goldberg. I don't like that idea. I like the idea of him being like an indestructible monster. But something has to take him down. He has to be Superman with kryptonite. There has to be something. Maybe it's a kick in the dick. But like whatever it is, there's got to be at least something that takes him out.
I mean, he shouldn't be losing anytime. I mean, he's lost now. So he lost in NXT. We saw Tony D'Angelo beat him. So it's not like he's never lost.
But they don't tell
anything. You I know, but it's not like this was 5 years ago when it happened. It was last year that it happened. So I don't even think it's like a year old. Maybe it's 2 years at this point. Time has no meaning. Like it doesn't have to be Goldberg and have like a winning streak or anything. Although he should be Goldberg and he should just beat all these dudes. But he shouldn't be losing these matches to Brock. Like I wouldn't have him lose. I'm with you on winning streaks because they're tough to do, and then you do the win streak like after it. Where are you supposed to go from there? Type of thing. I would do a he doesn't lose type of thing, but you just don't really reference the whole winning streak stuff. You don't have to have him on television every week beating people. You just have him win the important matches, and like it's a big deal when he wrestles. Like he beats Brock at 2 PLEs. But they tried to do that with the open challenge stuff because they had no other idea what to do with him. I don't think they have any idea what to do with Oba. He's in King of the Ring. They're doing fatal 4-way matches for the first round because
they did that shit last year too, didn't they?
Did they?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure
I don't remember.
They did, if not triple threats and fatal 4-ways. They did not do one-on-one matches to get into it. That's been a lot of these tournaments that they do. All end up being triple threats or 4-ways to get in.
Yeah, they did do 4-way matches last year.
Yeah, because that's the Triple H way. Someone gets saved, but you put a bunch of guys because they're complaining that so and so's not in these opportunities, blah blah blah, and they're like, okay, here's 4 of them, and we'll figure it out. And it's fucking stupid.
I legit didn't remember they did 4-ways last year. Sure, okay.
When they released the brackets, it was very funny. So when we were doing the post show, I looked at the brackets. I'm like, oh, so they're doing the 4-ways again. And then afterwards, I was listening to a bunch of people on other post shows be like, okay, so it's this person, versus this person versus this. I'm like, no, it's a 4-way. Look at it very clearly has 4 people, and then 4 becomes 1, and then 4 people. Like, read the brackets, please.
Yeah. People, I saw that there was a lot of confusion on socials that that they thought it was like singles matches and stuff, and I blame all the engagement accounts for that and not knowing how to read the bracket or not listening, because Rosenberg said it as well, but Rosenberg was very like hesitant to say it was like 4-way, and he just kind of said it like once, and then they didn't really circle back to the fact that it was 4-ways. But yeah, the bracket kind of shows it's 4-ways, and sure, whatever. I don't know if Oba's gonna win King of the Ring. The fact that it's 4-way means you don't have to pin him, and so I think that's kind of their out. He should. I don't even know who he's facing. I know it's like Penta.
Penta, Sikoa, and Mello.
He should stack all these dudes. I don't care.
Yeah, instead you're gonna get like either Penta's getting pinned or Carmelo Hayes is getting pinned.
Yeah, Solo's gonna fucking win this.
Meanwhile, I'm like, what if Mello wins and they do Mello and Trick in the in that match? I don't think they are.
Yeah.
So the matches as they stand. So Penta, Oba Femi, Solo Sikoa, and Carmelo Hayes. That's one 4-way.
I'd have Oba win, but Penta's gonna win.
Yeah, I think that Brock gets involved again or something happens. They're doing 2 from Raw, 2 from SmackDown. That's how they're playing this off. In the other one on the same bracket, same side of the bracket, Dom Mysterio, Braun Breaker, Trick Williams, and Damian Priest.
I mean, I'd have Braun win, but then you're getting Braun and Oba, and then who should win that? Priest will probably win that. I would have Dom win this. I'd have Oba win the first one. I'd have Dom win this, and then I'd have Oba kill Dom, because that's gonna get Oba over, because everyone loves seeing Dom get killed. By the way, I think it was Grays that pointed out. If it wasn't Grays, I apologize. Somebody pointed it out. Braun Breaker sitting there with Austin Theory.
He was so distraught.
I was like, there has not been a bigger downfall in the past month than this man. This man beat Seth Rollins on pay-per-view, and it looked like he was gonna be no pun intended, the next big thing, and he was about to be the guy, and now he's just sitting there with Austin Theory holding a title that he didn't even win because Logan Paul got hurt. And I'm like, man, this poor bastard. I'm so sorry. Shout out to you, Grays. Yeah, I thought the same thing when I saw it. I felt so bad for that man. I was like, oh, this is what they have for him. You better find a new Vision member. Just plug him in so he can team with Austin Theory. Because if this is what you got if this is what you got for Braun Breaker, yeesh.
Hopefully Bronson Reed is on his way back. Looks good though. He's looking good. The other side of the bracket, by the way, Seth Rollins, Javon Evans, Tala Tonga, and Ricky Saints. That's one match.
Okay. I would go with Seth.
I think Seth and Breaker is the final, but we'll get to that in a second. And then Jey Uso, LA Knight, yeah, Royce Keys, and Finn Balor. Finn Balor being promoted as a SmackDown star, by the way, which I noted on the post show. They have not said that he's officially moved, but if they're going to move him to SmackDown, I'm totally okay with that.
I would go with
Royce.
Sure.
I like Keys and Rollins. I think that'd be a fun.
Yeah, I'll go with Royce, and then I'll go with Seth, and then I'd have Oba squash Seth.
I think Seth is winning the
I think so too. I think that's why it seems like a lot of people are gonna do Roman and Seth at SummerSlam, and so all right, sure. It does seem like it's gonna be Seth. I'd have Oba run through these dudes.
That's fair. The other thing, by the way, because we have to talk about it, you mentioned how much people were paying for seats. Well, on Friday, I said, who's doing the pasta gimmick?
Yeah.
Jeremy, we figured it out. If you had John Travolta and Maxine Dupree, you win. They were making pasta.
John Travolta?
Is that not John Travolta?
I don't think it's John Travolta.
No? Look at that smile. John Travolta has a smile like that.
I mean, I guess, but I don't think it's John Travolta.
I can't zoom in any more than I already have, so that's what you get. That's John Travolta.
It's Ethan Page.
Who? No, it's not. That's John Travolta.
Oh, why is Cash Wheeler there?
Oh, God. A lot of people, by the way, said the same thing that Ryan's saying. The guy next to Ethan Page is kind of cute. That was just cackling. That for some reason, that popped off on socials for me when I did a quote. Which I did the quote tweet because on Friday, like I said, I put out, did we find out who's doing the pasta making? And then when I found out, I was like, if you had these two, you win. And people were just like, oh, $11,500, and all you get is Ethan Page and Maxine Dupree. And I'm like, you get the pasta too.
I don't feel like Ethan Page and Maxine Dupree is like the worst combination they could have come up with. Like,
sounds like a lot of fun, honestly.
Yeah,
I don't have that money. I wouldn't pay that money.
Yeah.
If you did and you were looking for like a one of a kind, because that's what these are. These are one of a kind experiences for like hardcore fans who have the money, and this is their money that they want to spend. If I was that person, I think I'd have fun with this.
Yeah, Maxine's fun. She's bubbly. She's gonna get into it and be excited. And I mean, Ethan's he could go one of two ways. He could either be like nice Ethan Page, he could be Julian and have fun with it in a nice way and everything, or he could be a dick about things, and that's still fun too, because then he's just like Ethan Page making fun of you and being like you suck, and that's probably a fun experience. So I think it could have been worse options there. Y'all aren't gonna make me hate on Maxine in these scenarios. Like she is good in these kind of settings.
They're just nice people having fun and making memories. Again, for the company that is the memory making / moment making brand, like you know what you're getting when you get these things. If you're expecting some incredible, like I'm going to make pasta with Roman Reigns, like no, you're not. They would tell you if you were making pasta with Roman.
It'd cost a lot more than 11.5.
Yeah, you'd be spending $50,000 at least to get Roman out of bed for this. It was fine when I found out. I was like, oh, that's cute. That would have been fun, but that's not something I would spend my money on. But for those who did, everyone that I saw kind of who were at this thing and I saw replying to like, we had a fun time. I said, great. I hope you did. I hope it was worth your time and money, because otherwise wouldn't do it again. So again, we don't really care for WWE's like method of getting and extracting all this money. But if you're going to do it, God, I just hope it's fun for the people who spend it, because otherwise you don't do it. $10,000 and we get to ride the bus. Where's Steven Jensen? We're going to raise money for next year's Wrestle. Not, maybe not. Maybe not next year, but maybe in a couple of years. It's listen, it's a lot of money to you, but it's not a lot of money to everybody. That's the difference.
Yeah, it's way too much money to me.
Yeah.
Bless if you have that kind of money and this is what you're willing to spend it on. I think you should do better things with it, but I know, whatever.
Dude, whatever you spend your money on is what you spend your money on. If tickets to a show you want to go to are $11,000 and you have it, you're going to do it. I'm not going to pocket watch people. That's all. That's it. Elsewhere on the show, Sol Ruca wins the Intercontinental Women's Championship. I have to be honest, I did not care for this match. The match is still Jessica Carr versus Becky Lynch, and Sol Ruca won by standing on the turnbuckle for an extra second to make sure she could hit her finish. The match was fine, but I could not care less about the Women's Intercontinental Championship, and it just wasn't for me.
Okay. It wasn't bad or anything. I think they worked hard. They tried to do some different things.
I will say the Soul Snatcher reverse into the armbar, that looked good. That was a fun spot.
That was good. I liked how Soul hit the Soul Snatcher too, of kind of getting out of the manhandle slam, going to the second rope, and then hitting it as Becky turned around. That's a tough move because the setup can always look a little bit wonky, and I do think for the most part Soul does a good job, and her opponent does a good job to make it look as fluid as it possibly can given what goes into the move. So I didn't mind that. It was they worked hard. Becky, bless Becky, she is really tried with this Intercontinental title and making different people and trying to get different people over. And Lyra is a crowd filler. Maxine is a pasta filler. And
dude,
we'll see.
All of those people in the crowd, it was hilarious. All those shots of like wrestlers hanging out in the crowd.
I think that's the dumbest thing ever.
It's so dumb. And it's like, they don't have tickets. What do we do? Like, they don't have tickets. They work for the company. Why are you putting them in the stands? They want to make it look like if you go, you could be seated next to a superstar. When in reality, it's like they get 3 seconds, there's security all around them, and then they get shepherded off the screen. Like, what do you think we're doing here?
I think it's the dumbest thing ever of, hey, let's have our wrestlers sit in the crowd for these reaction shots. Like, fine, you do it with the celebrities, and I didn't know any of those people that they showed. I'm not up on Italian culture like that. But you want to do it like, I don't know half the people they show at like a US Raw. Here's this person from this Netflix show. I don't fuck this person from that Netflix show is. Yeah, I don't know half of these people. Yeah, it is a what? Go ahead.
Julia, who has Italian heritage and is Italian by blood, she gets to sit there and wave at the crowd, and that was so obnoxious. Like, you could have done anything. Was she even on SmackDown?
I don't recall.
I don't think I saw her, and I watched that show. Woof. Another one that's just like, you have a perfect opportunity. Maybe she'll be on Raw tonight instead. Wouldn't that be nice? But that's just stupid.
Sadly, I have to cop into that one.
Listen, I understand it. I get it. It's understandable. It's fine.
It is for sure a UFC thing. Like, UFC, they show active fighters and like legends and stuff in the crowd. Like, it's definitely a UFC thing. And like, UFC is, I get it with the UFC because these dudes only fight like twice a year. So you want to show them in the crowd, like supporting their friends or fellow fighters and stuff. Like, all right, cool. Like, they literally fight twice, sometimes once, maybe 3 times a year. Like, LA Knight's going to be on Raw tonight, and he's just chilling in the crowd yesterday. Like, that's where there's a disconnect between, oh, we do it at UFC, so it's cool, while we do it with WWE. Like, it just looks dumb because these people are like active parts of your television show, where UFC is like, okay, well, they're just chilling here supporting. Like, it'd be like if LeBron goes to a game, like, all right, fine, LeBron's out of the playoffs, he wants to attend a game, like, all right, he's there to support type of thing. It just seems stupid to me to do it with WWE. Again, you want to know what the celebs, fine. Like, I don't know half of them that they show, whether they're overseas or in America, which is overseas for those overseas, as Taz made sure to point out. You want to do it with the celebrities, fine. Putting the wrestlers there is just so dumb.
It is. I love Gray saying LA Knight, had he waited, he could have caught one of the snacks Roman threw instead of buying his own. You know what LA Knight should have done? He should have snapped into a spicy Slim Jim. You know, that's what they should have done. Stupid. They could have done. And by the way, I saw that. Who was it? Was it Zeno Hour pointing out that SmackDown was in Spain? It's the same thing, same country. Don't worry.
Don't be racist.
No, it's xenophobic. There's a big difference.
Okay, don't be xenophobic.
No, you're right. I am xenophobic. I'm Zeno Hour phobic, and that I hate Zeno Hour. Anyway, the women's.
I will give you that one because one, it wasn't bad. Two, it's your birthday. SP3 should steal that though. He truly hates Zeno Hour.
That's true. SP3, that was for you. You are well within your right to use it. The Women's Queen of the Ring tournament. Now, this is the one that definitely got people talking because
Stupid.
The four-ways are egregious. You want to talk about it. Let's start on the opposite side of the bracket. Roxanne Perez, Io Sky, Julia, and Lash Legend in a four-way.
Okay. This isn't bad. I would probably go with Julia or Io. I like all these women, so I'm not mad at whoever gets this win.
Feel like Io Sky's gonna win.
Yeah. Okay.
Bailey, Raquel Rodriguez, JC Jane, and Kiana James. I think JC Jane is gonna win this one.
All right. Yeah, that makes sense.
Jane and Io Sky would be a really fun match.
Yeah,
in my
I like
opinion.
that.
The other side of the bracket, it is Sol Ruka, the new Women's Intercontinental Champion, Lyra Valkyria, Charlotte Flair, and Jade Cargill in a four-way.
Yeah, Lyra's there to take a pin.
For Lyra Valkyria.
Probably to Charlotte. I think Charlotte is going to win.
Yeah, I think it's Charlotte as well. And finally, the match that got people talking, the Women's World Champion, Liv Morgan, Becky Lynch, Alexa Bliss, and Chelsea Green, who unfortunately will be eating a pin, unless all three women count each other out and Valkyria gets involved and Liv Morgan gets pinned by Chelsea Green.
I could see Alexa losing. They beat her.
How
They don't
dare you?
care.
They beat her on Friday, but never again.
Yeah,
By the
beat
way,
her.
the way they got into that match with Jade and Alexa on Friday felt like Lexi was about to shoot on her, but then it turned out it was just because it felt like she stopped the promo dead in its tracks just to say, don't do that shit again. And then it was like, we're going to do a match. I'm like, never mind. Either way. Liv Morgan announces that she's part of this. By the way, the winners of the King and Queen of the Ring, respectively, get title shots. It was last year that you get the champion of your respective brand. This year it feels like they've walked that back, and now it's just anyone. And then Liv Morgan, who's a world women's champion, just put herself in and was like, well, fuck this. If you're not going to give me competition, I'll make my own. And it's like, you have competition. There are women on the Raw roster going after you.
Apparently they're not, because she keeps calling them all pussies. So I respect that Liv is trying her best in trying to make sense of this whole thing of like, you know, I've won the crown jewel nonsense. I've won the Royal Rumble. I've won Money in the Bank. I've won the world title and everything. Now I'm gonna win Queen of the Ring. Like, I respect that she's like trying with all this, and she keeps calling everybody pussies, which is very funny to me. But this is the performer making something out of nothing, because they are giving her literally nothing since she won this title. Like, literally nothing. And now they have so little for her that they're like, hey, we're just going to put you in this Queen of the Ring tournament, even though the winner gets a title shot out of this and could potentially face you for this. I wouldn't be shocked to see Liv in the final and she loses to it's gonna upset some people. She loses to Raquel Rodriguez.
Oh.
And they do Raquel and Liv at SummerSlam. And there is the tension of, oh, Raquel beat her at Night of Champions, and Liv saying, like, you know, that was a different match. I don't know, I let you have it or whatever, but like, I'm really proud of you, like some condescending bullshit after the match. Like, I wouldn't be shocked if they do something like that. Or Roxanne's on the other side of the bracket too. Like, I could legitimately see Liv against Roxanne or Raquel in the finals. Roxanne or Raquel wins, and then that's your SummerSlam match. They just do a rematch between the Judgment Day after a month of, oh, good for you, like you won this Queen of the Ring, but when it really matters, when the title's on the line, you're not going to win. And they just do Judgment Day lore and Vortex for 2 months here.
Yeah, I think it's Charlotte versus JC Jane in the final.
Okay.
That's where I'm at.
All
We'll
right.
see. I think Liv Morgan versus Charlotte Flair could be the semis, and maybe Liv wins this match, this 4-way against Becky, Alexa Bliss, and Chelsea Green. Maybe she wins it, and then on the other side, I can see Flair pinning Lyra Valkyria and Jade Cargill getting screwed out of it somehow, but still being out of the tournament. Flair versus Morgan is a good match. It's an easy match to get to, and Flair wins, maybe because Stephanie Vaquer gets involved finally, and then we're telling the Morgan Vaquer story again, because they got to get back to that. She hasn't gotten a rematch. She was injured. She's got to get her comeuppance, blah, blah, blah. And then Flair versus JC Jane, because JC is the only woman out of all of the SmackDown women who are on this whole list who have called out the women's champion, because God forbid Jordan Grace get a spot, or God forbid Blake Monroe, who you debuted on a promo and then put her back behind a camera to not do it. Again, 2 more women you could have included, but you decided not to because you were afraid of God knows what. You could have put them in, but you didn't, because I don't know why. They're high on Kiana James. They're high on JC Jane. But I think there's going to be JC Jane, Charlotte Flair as the final.
Here's the problem with you guys thinking that it's going to be Charlotte and JC and then Charlotte and Rhea at SummerSlam.
I think it's a triple threat at SummerSlam.
Okay. I don't. Well, then who wins Queen of the Ring?
Charlotte, and then Jade.
And then JC just gets her way in there.
No. Triple threat with Jade, Charlotte, and Rhea.
Okay, so Charlotte wins Queen of the Ring, and Jade just gets her way into the match.
Yeah, it'll be the Vince McMahon. We need Charlotte, but instead it's no. I don't know how she gets in there, but I do think that it's a triple threat at SummerSlam.
Okay, here's the problem with all of this.
Sure.
They are already telling that story.
Yeah.
They already have that like built in to what they are doing. They don't need this Queen of the Ring tournament to do that. They need this Queen of the Ring tournament to actually get somewhere on the other side with Liv Morgan, who they have nothing for, and they're just waiting on Vaquer to return, which I don't know when that's going to be. Maybe they know, but they're already doing stuff on SmackDown in that title picture with Charlotte and Jade and JC and Rhea. They're doing something. They don't need Queen of the Ring for that. They need this Queen of the Ring to do something with Liv, and that's why Liv is going to face the Judgment Day member in the finals, because they have no earthly idea what else they're doing over there.
On the other hand, I think it's going to be one Raw star winning and one SmackDown star winning. I think they'll split it, and that's why I'm saying Seth for the men and then Charlotte or JC for the women. But I don't think they're doing JC versus. I don't think they're going to crown JC. I think they'll soon crown Charlotte.
I don't think they care about Raw and SmackDown and who's going to win. If anything, they'd give 2 to Raw because it's the more important show. They don't care about SmackDown.
This is it. They don't want to make another story. That's the thing. They will.
No, they
Queen of the Ring in this case.
I'll be harsh on WWE plenty of times. They do want to make another story. They just want it to be as easy as possible, and Queen of the Ring is the easiest way to do it. They know they have to do something. That's why Liv is in this whole thing, because they're like, well, we're not doing anything else with her. What are we going to do? Oh, put her in Queen of the Ring, and we'll figure something else out of it. And putting both Judgment Day members on the other side of the bracket feels like their way to get something out of it. They actually have something on SmackDown with Charlotte, JC, Rhea, Jade, and everything. They have something going over there. They don't need Queen of the Ring for that. They have nothing going on Raw. Queen of the Ring is the way to give them something on Raw.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens with the King and Queen of the Ring, but we're both of the understanding that things have been lazy, and who knows?
Yes. Lazy and boring. Lazy, honestly.
Yeah. There's some stuff that just needs to be figured out and unpacked and just moved on from. And against the MFTs and the bloodline rehashing.
Nah, I want more of that.
I know
Fuck
you
it.
do.
I'm all in on it at this point.
It's hilarious that like you knew it was coming because Roman talked about it, before the first Fatu match. And he was like, "Oh, that idiot! He can't order a coffee to the arena." And it was like, "All right, you invoke the name, like you're going to play it up, and sure do it in Saudi, and the Saudis will be like, yeah, sure, whatever. It's fine. It's a paid show." But yeah, man, it's very funny watching some of this shit play out and just be like, you're just booking for nothing.
Nah, I want the whole Bloodline Lord bullshit back. It's hilarious to me that Big Rome comes in there, dick swinging, and it's like, I ain't working with none of these dudes. I want the Usos back. I'll work with Jacob. I'll work with Solo, and that's it. Who Oba? Seth? All right, fine. I'll beat Seth. You can throw Seth in there, but I gotta beat him. That's all they want to do. It rules. Absolutely rules that this is the bullshit Roman wants to do. Roman told him, he said, you had 2 years to figure this shit out. You didn't do it. I'm back. I'm running the show again, baby.
Which again, just every time I think about that Royal Rumble interview, the Pat McAfee thing.
Yeah, it rules.
Went right back to it, and it's like, that's not what we meant.
No. Well, it's Triple H's fault. All he had to do was use that 2 years wisely and get some people over, and he didn't do it. So Roman's like, all right, guess what? I'm the dude that's got to get these people over now.
Amazing.
And he's gonna get his family over because that's what Roman does best. Absolutely love it. We acknowledge the tribal chief around here. When we went to the baseball game the other day, no, the tiny one, like the player who wore number 1, and tiny one was like, oh, hey, where's number 1? And so, that was the first person I saw, and he wears number 1, and that's really cool. And my lovely wife is like, oh yeah, like that makes sense. And the tiny one goes, but the true number 1 is really Roman Reigns. And I popped so much. I was like, yeah, acknowledge the tribal chief. And tiny one just puts the finger up in the air, acknowledging the tribal chief. So I got her acknowledging the tribal chief all the time. She gets so excited. She runs into the room when Roman makes his entrance, just throws the 1 up in the air. It's so excited for the tribal chief. Love Big Rome around here. This is a Roman Reigns household.
Of course it is. Was there anything else?
Did you ever that Dort Cody? Get out of here.
That's fair. I get that. Was there anything
QB1? Else? Fuck that noise.
Oh, they're teasing that shit again. Again.
That rolled when Roman's talking that shit going up the ramp. He's like, I'm telling you, how you know who the head of the table is. QB1? Fuck that noise. I run shit around here. It's like, yeah, that's right, Rome. You talk that shit. Cody better be willing to take that L at WrestleMania this year.
He brought back the dick out kick out for the match against Fatu.
Oh yeah, I thought of that. I like during the match, I was like, oh, Roman's got to do. It was the kick out prior that made me think he needed to do it in this match, and then the next kick out he did it. I was like, yeah, Big Rome is back, baby.
Cheetah Rome is here, babe. Oh god,
that match was such WWE bullshit of just here's your Slim Jim table spot, and they broke out the toolbox and everything.
I said this on the post show. 2 things. One, the venue, the most like obnoxious thing, or not obnoxious, but the thing that really took me out of the venue is that it's not a traditional round venue or ovular venue. So the stairs,
it's like a square.
It was a big square. So the big stairs coming down the sides really threw me off because they were massive.
Yeah.
It was it was part of the Winter Olympics for what sport did they say?
Hockey.
It was hockey, speed skating, all that. So yeah. And I just looked at it, I was like, Jesus Christ, it's so awkwardly built, but at least they're still using it. And the other thing was oh my God, they use the table, they use that. But stop chanting, we want tables. It's time to get creative. Start chanting.
Shut up, Joel. I've been saying this for years now.
Start thinking of better things. We want light tubes. We want doors. Anything but tables. Tables are easy. Stop it.
Get out of here, Joel. I've been beating this drum for years about this. No one's gonna listen to you about this.
Oh, I got some guy who likes tables.
And true. He likes ladders more.
Well,
Sure.
the other guy though, he wants me to call in right away and explain myself.
Get out of here, though. I've been beating the knock off the we want tables drum forever. I did like the barricade spot because it looked like the security people
It sucks for
got
them.
trucked.
That one dude who just got like,
Yeah.
kicked him in the shin as he was coming down. It looked like it sucked for them. And I said,
Yeah.
I'm like, that guy was aiming for a tryout and he's gonna get it because of that spot. You know, and it looked good because at least they went to a different side of the arena. Like it looked different. So
Yeah, exactly.
It was silly shit, but it was funny just to see like the reaction from the two security guys on the side.
Yeah, it wasn't the usual do it by the timekeeper's table because I hate that spot. I hate the barricade spot when they do it through the timekeeper's table. And so I was like, all right.
Yeah.
But this one actually it was different because especially the security guards were not paying attention. And that one dude, camera left, got wrecked.
So I was like, oh, poor bastard. It was very well done. Yeah, and they did the Umaga spot where Roman threw the stairs out of the ring onto Jacob's head. And, it was a good callback, little stuff there. Yeah. Fun. The match, like, it was very silly WWE BS, but I love that the concessions were on the floor and they made use of the concession stand. That was funny. Roman throwing out popcorn as being like, yeah, you can charge me that $350. It's fine.
$350?
Yeah, maybe $350. It's good
stuff.
Anyway, this show was what it was. Was he Dame? But we got through it. It was.
Yeah, it was. I like the afternoon shows. Get them out of the way. WWE shows are, for the most part, this is faint praise. They're inoffensive.
Yeah,
they happen. There's still too many ads, and the pacing is still blah. But they happen, they're over, they do their post-show, where nothing happens, and they wrap everything up in like 3.5 hours, and you just move on with your life. You don't remember any of it. You forget most of it. Some of it's really terrible, and you laugh at that. And that's that. Like, none of it feels like it matters in the grand scheme of things. And that's not how it should feel. It should feel like, oh man, that was so great. I can't wait to see what happens next. Like, I don't care what happens on Raw tonight. Jacob's gonna acknowledge Roman Reigns, which he should have already done anyway. I'm excited for Roman, but I'm just a Roman mark, and he just pops me in so many ways. But like, they're just inoffensive shows that happen, and we all move on with our life afterwards.
Yeah, exactly. And now Raw is this afternoon, 2 p.m. Not much announced. There's people saying things that have been announced, but other than the Jacob Fatu acknowledging Roman Reigns and one of the King of the Ring first round matches tonight.
Yeah, the Oba, Penta,
Solo, and Carmelo.
Yeah.
There's some other stuff out there that people are saying, but I don't know the veracity of it. So
I haven't seen anything else official.
Neither have I. I just did a search now and I haven't seen, but WWE is just posting stuff.
Yeah, maybe it got announced and I missed it. Like, it's very possible. It's always possible. But, the show's in 2 hours at this point. Like, who cares what you announce? Like, just do your show and move on with your life. But, yeah, I like the afternoon shows. I'm all for it. It'll be over by 4:30. I can do everything else I need to do with my afternoon, and that'd be that. So I appreciate that.
On Friday, I just set up my laptop on the kitchen counter and I cooked and I just watched SmackDown.
What'd you make?
I was making burgers that night, but I was also I was cutting up a lot of veggies. I was making cauliflower rice because I like doing that now. I had like a full ass cauliflower that I had to grate. Could have put in a food processor. Don't know why. I just had time. So I just sat there and I grated an entire cauliflower. Makes good rice. Try cauliflower.
What do you do if you need a seed, Joel?
I don't understand the
cauliflower.
My kid really likes the interrupting cow joke.
Oh yeah,
that is now his favorite knock joke.
I respect that one.
Yes, it's very fun. Although he can never get the timing right because again he's 4. But it's funny when you try to do it with him.
I don't even know if that seed cauliflower joke makes any sense.
No,
I literally just came up with it right now because you said cauliflower and I thought of like cauliflower, and so I was like, how can I make this work? And so I just decided to come up with that one on the spot. Someone can workshop that into something better with the use the cauliflower angle there. There you go, somebody. Mitch Hedberg out here is going to steal this one.
Well, someone will. I don't think it's going to be Mitch.
Bless Mitch, R.I.P.
Santino was at the show.
Oh, yeah, he showed up and just showed in the crowd, and they were like, we brought you in here just to sit you down here.
Well, he was happy because he gets a payday. He's the most over wrestler.
He's like, this chair is usually reserved for Carlos.
You know what's great? They debuted Fabian Eichner, who's also Italian, and then they're just like, no, let's put Santino Marella out here. The most over.
Yeah, no one cares about Fabian Eichner. No offense to him.
I think someone had a really funny, like, they thought they were being serious. Like, I think TNA brought in Fabian Eichner so that he could go over to Clash in Italy. And I was like, nope, that's not at all what happened. Oh, man. But yes, Santino was there. Fightful Select WrestleVote scoop confirmed because he was in talks to appear on the show, and he did. He had a good time drinking with the fans in the crowd who were excited to see him.
Most basic ass appearance ever. It's like, hey, we're gonna give you the Lyra Valkyria spot of just sit here in the crowd.
We're gonna fly you all the way to Italy just to do the spot.
I feel like they're gonna do something with him on Raw, right?
I have no idea. They did mention that he is the director of authority of TNA. Yeah. So yes, they didn't on his lower third. They didn't have anything about it, but they did mention it on commentary.
Yeah,
so
they did.
I was listening for that just in case. But they've talked about TNA lately, just not when Leon Slater has a X Division title match.
I feel like they're gonna do something with him on Raw. Maybe he does like a backstager with Pierce or something. It just feels like they do something with him. I mean, it's funnier if they do nothing and they just flew him all the way out there just to sit him in the crowd. And
they should sit him in the crowd again tonight.
Yeah,
he's still enjoying himself out here.
Yeah, it's much funnier if they do that, but I think they do something with him on the show.
We'll see. Him and Danhausen should have a moment, but the moment should be Danhausen no sells everything Santino says. Danhausen plays the straight man in the face. That's what I don't understand.
I'm not mad at that.
It's just Santino says all of his silly shit in a voice that makes no sense, and then at the end of it, Danhausen's like, "What did you say? I don't understand you. Do you speak English?"
Roman would ignore the shit out of Santino.
Not want that. He's just like, "Who the fuck is this guy?
Yeah,
get him away from me." That'd be great. And they did announce officially, by the way, because we were talking about Triple Mania is going to be, the first night is in Las Vegas at the Luxor. So if you had tickets on September 11th to go see Carrot Top, he's at the Luxor, then I'm afraid you might not be able to, because you might be giving up a space for that. I don't know.
Was he supposed to be there September 11th?
Well, no, he's got a like an ongoing residency.
Okay. I don't know these residencies.
Yeah, he doesn't live at Luxor, but like Carrot Top's been at Luxor for like 20 something years. It's kind of ridiculous.
Okay.
But, he's not actually giving up that theater because I don't know where they're running at Luxor. I think they have an esports arena.
Okay.
Yeah,
is it? I thought that's what they said, but maybe I misheard.
Yeah, I feel like isn't it the Hypersport? No, that's the HyperX Arena. That's the one.
Okay.
I thought, it's at the Luxor. Okay, I thought that the HyperX was at Mandalay Bay. But anyway, yeah, it's at the Luxor. And then WWE is going to be going back to Mexico for Raw and SmackDown as well that weekend. So cool. That was part of the play. And of course, CMLL has their big anniversario show around that time. So that's just what they do.
They should invade CMLL. Imagine Grande Americano showing up and like confronting Mystico. Oh, fuck.
Oh god. And then Santino shows up.
Stop it.
Oh man. Yeah, no, I don't know.
That's like the biggest match in Mexico history. I know it's not, but that's the biggest match they can do, right? Is Americano and Mystico?
I mean, just because Mystico, yes. Could you imagine the fans? You want tribalism. That's the one right there. You want to get CMLL fans and AAA fans. Let's go. Yeah, CMLL is the bigger promotion.
Yeah, for sure.
The bigger reach internationally is obviously AAA, given the WWE, influence.
Yeah. Yeah, and
Undertaker going into a CMLL ring, be like, "We fire the first shots. Rest in peace."
What is it? Why is Undertaker? That's way too country for Undertaker.
Is it though?
Nah, that's like that's not like a Texas accent. That was
Hey man, I just want.
that was like a Tennessee accent.
Well, there it is.
That was a tough one. That was a tough one, Joel. I mean, not quite as bad as your Brock one, which I don't think that was a.
That one is spot on. Other people in the chat have agreed with me.
Yeah. That one's parody, so like I can at least respect it.
Yes.
I don't know what your other stuff was supposed to be.
Either way,
I know he's from Texas, but there's different accents. Like not everyone from Texas has that type of Southern accent. Like there's different versions of a Southern accent.
Joel is a Texan, please no. See, spot on Taker. I got it.
God, you guys are being nice to Joel because it's his birthday, so that's fine.
Anyway, is there anything else we have to cover before we get on out of here? Someone had messaged me being like, please talk about the Candice Michelle interview. And I was like, she did enough for herself in that interview. That's okay.
Oh,
the one with Van Vliet.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want the product. I think AJ Styles is going to be back in TNA. I was like, yeah, you proved it there.
It was. She doesn't.
Tommy Dreamer hired me, and I'm so happy. I'm like, don't worry.
That one was known.
We knew this. That was the masculinity, femininity conversation. That was something that people latched onto. It's not for me to accept or deny. It's just a.
It was with, by the way, TMZ Inside the Ring,
TMZ.
Not Van Vliet. I at least want to get the outlet correct.
You're my mistake. Did she do one with him recently?
I feel not super recently, but I don't know.
My mistake.
TMZ,
you're right.
Yeah. I mean.
Oh, she did one in March.
Okay.
Yeah.
She said things. What do you want to do? Like. I'm sorry. Like, I know Candice Michelle actually does work for a company, so her opinion holds a little bit more weight than just some retired person who is just out there doing podcasts. But I don't know, man. It's Candice Michelle saying things.
Boy, did she. What you think of those things? Well, Anyway, anything else from today, from the weekend? SmackDown was SmackDown. There's really nothing to add. I thought it was a perfectly okay show. The pace was great until the second hour, and I was like, well, we slowed down a bit.
I don't remember anything that happened on SmackDown.
SmackDown was full of Sammy being Sammy.
Yeah, Sammy was good.
Yeah.
Sammy had some good backstage stuff and everything. I have no idea what else happened on that show.
Honestly, it was the opening segment with Rhea and Jade and leading into the Alexa Bliss segment. Like, I was like, that worked. I liked it. But yeah, there was a lot of that was on SmackDown. Okay. Miz had a match. Yeah, he fought Axiom. And Axiom won in his home country.
Oh, true. Oh, Adam Pearce is speaking. Hold on. Let's see what he's announcing for tonight.
It's probably all the stuff that the other places are saying. Let me guess. Jacob Fatu
and Roman.
The King of the Ring 4-way. Io Sky,
Rey Mysterio, and Dragon Lee against Ethan Page and Rusev.
No, that's a thing.
And in the main event, Seth freaking Rollins, 1-on-1 with Braun Breaker. Oh,
that's not gonna end. You're probably not talking about Raw tomorrow.
Hell yeah.
That's what it sounds like to me.
Man, if they just have Seth win this match, that'd be hilarious.
I feel so bad. This could be the I don't know if it's the return of Bronson Reed, but yeah. What a hilarious turn of points. All right. We're back tomorrow over on our other station, over on the Super Station, Fightful Overbooked. If you haven't yet, go subscribe to that channel. Jeremy, we got to do the things.
What was your moment of the weekend, Joel?
In tribal combat, 3 things are true. 1, they will use everything and anything to gain the advantage, including popcorn carts, toolboxes, tables, and maybe some stairs. But at the end of the day, the one that wins tribal combat is the one that will give you the dick out kickouts. Roman Reigns, our tribal chief, is once again still World Heavyweight Champion, and we acknowledge that.
My moment of the weekend was the mask versus mask match between El Grande Americano and OG El Grande Americano. One of the best matches of the year, any company, any place in the world. It is 33 minutes long. It does not feel like it's 33 minutes long. I think everybody should watch it start to finish, from entrances to post-match to everything in between. It was a masterpiece.
I agree, but I wasn't going to take your spot from you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Results of our non-existent poll question. Happy birthday.
Yeah, didn't do a poll question today. Happy stupid birthday, Joel.
Thank you. What did we accomplish today? Oh, well then.
What did we accomplish today, Joel?
We talked a lot. Don't know how much we accomplished. We talked about literally every single wrestling company that you could think of. We really did. Every televised wrestling company. We talked about WWE. We talked about AEW. We talked about MLW. We talked about NWA. We talked about AAA. We even mentioned CMLL. We talked about TNA because Santino showed up. We got everybody. Did we miss anybody? We didn't talk Wild Women of Wrestling. Sorry, Ryan. We did it. I just mentioned WoW, so that technically counts.
The biggest thing we accomplished today is we talked way too much wrestling, and that makes for a terrible show.
We've been on a run of terrible shows, and they continue tomorrow on Fightful Overbooked. Jeremy and SP3 will be back, whether they talk about Raw or if it's just SP3 monologuing to himself in the chat. Who knows? We'll find out in a few hours' time. But for Jeremy Lambert, you know who I am. You know who he is. You know who that guy is because he's a big WoW fan. Leave a thumbs up on the way out and leave a comment because if anything else, you can engage with us and say how much you love Sean Ross Sapp and how much you don't like this show. But that's fine. I get it. We're stupid. Ladies, gentlemen, friends beyond the binary. We'll see you in the next one. Cheers.